This year was a lot of unknowns. We came in September not really knowing what was going to happen. We kind of just went for it right away, and we were hoping that we would get on the ice, and we were very, very fortunate to be able to get on the ice leading up to Christmas break in hopes that after Christmas break that we would have a season. And obviously we trained hard every day, still not knowing what was going to happen. Unfortunately, after Christmas break, we found out that we wouldn't have a season. It was unfortunate, but we were still able to practice every day, still able to train hard, and at the end we were able to play some games, which was really good. And at the end of the year, we went with it, and we couldn't really change what was happening, so it was a lot of unknowns, but it worked out at the end to get some games in. Practice after practice after practice, it was tiring. You know, it was hard just because we didn't know if we would have games at the end of it. You know, practice is very, very important, but when you don't have an end goal to it almost, you don't know if you're going to end up having to use that practice and put it into a game. It's hard, but the motivation was there most of the time, and then sometimes it was very hard to get motivated to practice every single day, not knowing if you would play at the end. Was it too tedious or not enough practically? I think sometimes yes it was, because it's hard to practice things and not be able to put it into a game situation. You know, you could play against your own teammates and it's just not the same all the time. Obviously, you're going to fight, battle hard in practice, but then putting that certain play into a game, it's very different than a practice situation. The moment that we were told that we were going to play some games it was exciting. Obviously, we didn't know that we were going to be able to play some games at the end of this, and then once we got told, it was like the feeling you get the very first game of the season. And that was basically our very first game of the season. And you could see the excitement on everyone, and finally be able to put what we practice into play and to show how far we developed. The first skate out onto the ice was nervous. It was nerve-wracking. It was, you know, you had jitters. It was the first game back, and you know, you haven't played game in almost a year, so you don't know what to expect. You don't know how your opponent is going to be, and you don't know how far really you've developed. You can see it in practice, but you don't know how it's going to show out in a game. But it was exciting. Everyone was, you know, fired up, and the smiles on everyone's faces it said it all. And just that first skate out was really nice to just be able to get out there for the first time in the year. Is the team any better after all that practice? I do believe yes. It showed, literally our first game back, it showed how much we developed throughout the year. And I think it was really important for us to see that in a game, because, you know, like I said, you can have all of the practice in the world and you don't know what it's going to be like in a game. But it showed that we had some serious development as a group, and we came much closer, and then the games just built it even further. The biggest takeaway for me is really just to cherish every moment. You don't know what you're going to get and how it's going to end. And, you know, for hockey, it's not going to be your whole life, unfortunately. And just to be able to be here with my team and on the ice every day, even though it wasn't games all the time, it was just I wanted to be able to appreciate the little things. And that's what I think the biggest takeaway, because most seasons, you know, you just assume that you're going to have a season and you're going to play games. And I think just being able to cherish that you were here and we were able to get that ice time, it was important. I think we're going to look back on this season as a very big development. We became so much closer, as if that was even possible for us, as we were already very close. But we became so much closer, and we grew as a team. We developed, I can see in every single player that we grew strides. And I think that's really important. And I think looking back at it, no matter how many years it is, I think it's important to look at the little details that happened and how everyone grew and how we all became so much closer. No matter if we didn't have games or not, we were all still together every single day, and it was a big development season for sure. Where does UNB women's hockey go? And I think that's to the final. We have made strides, and I believe that we are a very good team. And I think with this past season, you could tell, even the games that we played, that we're in it to win it. I'm just really excited to see what's in the future for us, and I think it's going to be good.
But they're here now at the Aiken University Center, and puck drop. And we're underway as they look to put some pressure on this University team. Now the Reds coming off a couple games. We've seen them play against St. Thomas here both at the Aitken University Center and Grant Harvey Center. And after about that first game, it really started to feel like these women started to get their game back together, shaking that rust off after a long pause from competitive play. As they get things going in the offensive zone. Thornhill Taylor ringing around weak side. Smith there to keep it in. Fisher on her. With some help from Kim. Fisher will move it ahead. Cut off at the blue line. Here's Hargreaves now. Nice move to get around Kim. Cuts to the net short side. McCallum there to shut the door. Puck picked up in the high slot. Hargreaves with a laser, and oh, they shoot, they score! Frederick Sear on the doorstep there. As you can see, short side takes that rifle of a shot. Big giveaway there. Hargreaves off the end boards. And Sear was able to scoop that up. McCallum almost down and out trying to make the stop there. But Sear puts the Reds on the board. 1-0 here, first period. And just under 2 minutes to go as we see our first goal. Back to the attack. Here comes Stratton in with speed. Oh, and a beautiful chance on a partial break, short side. And McCallum getting a piece of that one. George on the far side, hands it off for Hedrick. Little give and go there. George centering pass for Keller. That one blocked in front. English seeing these women back out on the ice after quite a journey themselves. Kept off from competitive play due to the COVID-19 pandemic. A journey that many of us are still facing, but lucky enough here in Fredericton in New Brunswick where we can see this exhibition game today. The two local teams facing off, and now the Reds looking to get ahead. Vala getting off. Nice pass in front of the net. A centering pass just missing the stick of Martins. They get on the board. She scores! Second opportunity, and she'll put it home. And the Reds are on the board early. Just over 2 minutes into this one. It's going to be stolen. Wagstaff will fire it in for the Reds. In to give chase is Vala. As the Tommies take over, now trying to clear it out through the weak side. Rings around onto the half wall. McLean's able to keep it in as they feed that one up. Helowich only gets as far as the red line. Hedrick will take it back in on the backhand now. Works it to the top of the circle, waiting for her defenders who follow up. A quick shot, that one missing just far post. And in behind the net now. Coughs up the puck. Reds try to go on a break. Stopped at the blue line, not for long. Vanden Oetler, nice move to get around the goal. Stays with the puck on the red line as she'll backhand it off. Drost, top of the circle shot right on. And that one right into the pads of Petrosky. Now they'll move it out. Benedict trying to force that puck ahead. Held up along the boards with some support now from Grenier. Grenier and Benedict. Stanford now will take the puck back over. Around behind the net she'll go. And she'll flip it off the half wall. Doesn't quite get to the blue line. Grenier keeps it alive, centering pass for Drost, and she'll miss wide on that shot. That one turned and fired back in by Green. Battle ensues behind the net. Stanford trying to poke that one free. Centering pass, chance in front. Oh, a nice save off the shot from Benedict. And Petrosky will get a piece of that one, sending it over the bar. Reds applying all kinds of pressure. They get a line change going in the meantime. Tommies now, tired legs as they've been on for a while. Here's another shot. They shoot, they score! onslaught of offensive pressure there. And it's going to be Keller picking up the first goal, her first goal, and the second of this game. 2-1 now as the Reds take a late game.
It was definitely an interesting one, as you could only imagine. So we found out, obviously, when COVID hit that schools were going to be shut down and we weren't going to be having any in-person classes. So I took it as kind of a chance to just train. Like, the team got together, like, as many as we could, obviously. I was really thankful because I live in Fredericton. We got as many girls as we could here, and just the practice after practice with no games really. It took a toll on like confidence, I guess, just not really ever being able to show what you've learned and like how you've developed and like all the hard work that we still put in. Like, there was no less of hard work just because there wasn't a season. We came in the gym every day, just still ready, like practicing as if we had games. And then at the end, when we were able to play a couple games against Stu, it was really exciting to just be able to show even just ourselves how far we've come and how we were able to persevere even without having games. That was very nice to have. Having to practice and practice and practice without games was definitely difficult, just to kind of on the morale, not being able to show my friends and family and everybody who always comes to support me and everybody else on the team what we've been able to do. We knew that it wasn't going to last forever. That really helped. We kept telling each other, this is hopefully only going to be 1 year, just push through as much as you can and get better, because next year we're going to come out fighting and we're going to try to get up there again this year. So at any point, was it too tedious and too much theory? I would say no, just because in a normal year, it's always go, 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 go. And even though we do make the time, obviously, for, game plan and theory and stuff like that, it was kind of nice to just take a step back and really work on the tedious things, I guess. Like, get your footwork perfect, make sure you're behind the ball like as you should be all the time. So I would say that it didn't get too much. Maybe at times it was a little bit boring, but it was definitely needed, and I think I appreciated it. What was the reaction when the team was finally able to play a match? We were pumped. We were so excited. Even just something as small as being able to play our game day playlist for warm-up music and having DJ up there, like announcing everything, we were all really excited. It didn't matter who we were playing. Any team could have been across that net and it would have been just as exciting as playing anybody. And it meant a lot that everybody was able to come together and just play a couple games just to, like I said, prove all the hard work we've done without having a bunch of games. Just having everything set up as if would be on a regular game day, like everybody just sitting there and the announcers come in, the final whistle blowing, it was kind of like, whoa, okay. Like, finally all of the hard work and all the tediousness that we've gone through and just like leaning on each other and just hoping and praying to be able to play again soon, it finally happened, and it was phenomenal. Is the team better having gone through all the training? I would say yes. So specifically, I'd like to give a huge shout out to my team. The girls that were here are just in the gym alone, our testing results skyrocketed. As a team, our overall testing scores went up, so that just goes to show that even though we didn't have games, we were still putting in the work. We were still working out as much as we could in the gym, and it really showed. It was a little bit tough not having our whole team here, I will say. But like I said, being from Fredericton, I can't speak on their experiences, but there was a couple girls that weren't here all year, a couple girls that were here first term and not second term, so that definitely would put a little bit of a damper on like the team bonding side of it, but we still tried to include them as much as possible, like with our Snapchat groups, our Facebook groups, our video chats. I think that overall we excelled as a team. What was the biggest takeaway for me personally? Definitely don't take it for granted, because you don't know how easily a year could just be taken away from you. Because like I said, I'm going into my 5th year and I still have 2 more years of eligibility, and now who knows what's going to happen. So definitely don't take it for granted. Put in the work when you can, because you're not always going to have the opportunities to be on this court and put in as much work as you can. So how do I think the group would look back on this particular year? I think it would be mixed emotions for sure. It definitely took a toll on girls in different ways, especially the girls that weren't here. I think personally I'll look back and just be thankful that it went by quicker than we expected it to be. Like, even though it was a whole year taken away, it was only a year. So, but like I said before, just I got the privilege to still practice and still like work my butt off and try to do my best for the next year. And I think that it's not a bad thing. I really don't. I think that it's a learning. Everyone needs to learn. Everyone needs to learn how to overcome things like that. So I wouldn't say it was a negative in any way, I don't think.
University is going toe-to-toe here in an exhibition match. UNB Reds, of course, in the AUS division in U Sports Play, and St. Thomas Tommies representing the ACAA here this afternoon. Our officials for this afternoon's match is ranked national level official R1 Pat Thorne, that's the referee up top, and R2 down below with Matt Van Raalte, an international FIVB official. On the hot corners, we have Sherry Campbell and Stéphane Nadeau. Couple of big bombs. UNB pushes outside. And that's number 16, Kristen Burns, with her first kill of the season. Of course, we've had a stoppage in play based on the COVID pandemic. So the look and feel of this broadcast may look a little bit different. That one gives the great serve there by Lemieux. She'll get a credit there for the ace. UNB now 1, Stu 2. And Lemieux will go back and serve her second. Jump float. Setter for Stu out of the pocket. Roll shot there, picked up cleanly by UNB. Mills with her second serve. Drills it at Jenica Jean. Ricochets off her right arm and into the Stu bench. That'll bring us to the technical timeout. 16-12. UNB leads. One Pat Thorne, who signals for Kristen Burns to light it up. She must have heard me. Ace serve for Burns. UNB 3, St. Thomas 4. Millier with a good pass that time for St. Thomas. Burns to Burns. Rogers defends strongly at the net and doesn't come over though, but I'm seeing 8s on the scoreboard. The lead by 10, it's 18-8. Maddie Mills, good pass up. Emma Burns, strong swing. She goes off hands and out of play, over to the scorer's table. They'll close out set number 4 in neat fashion, 25-18. They now lead 4-0. She was after Melanson. Stu runs the middle. And UNB does not run middle. They go left side to Maddie Mills, who beats that strongly off of some. Lemieux's roll shot off camber a little bit, but she'll score with it for sure. And that will conclude today's match. This set number 5, 25-14 in favor of the UNB Reds over the St. Thomas Tommies. And that will, that also means a 5-0 sweep as well, as they took the first 4 sets. And I guess we can't shake hands, so they clap to each other and wave, acknowledge each other. And that will conclude today's webcast. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope you enjoyed watching these student athletes competing again.